Okay. Let me just, hold on. I have to do a lot of reading on this one. So, okay, I'm ready. Good afternoon. This is part 2 of Your Neighbors Need Your Help. Please watch the first segment for a better understanding of what is at stake. But just to go over very quickly, the first segment is our neighborhood. This is the plot of land that's under question. And this is the bridge that you see right here, a very small bridge. A lot has happened since the last time I visited your home. I hope you've read the articles in the New Haven Register, the New York Times, the Hartford Courant, and the Source. And with all the letters to the editors that have been published, also on YouTube and our own Channel 18. If you have been to the area in question, you would also have seen the signs all of us neighbors have out along the roads. This segment is about opposition to the special use exception that the Tremaine Foundation is seeking for 6 Opening Hill Road, which is right here. This is Opening Hill Road. The immediate neighbors and surrounding neighbors are strongly against this change to zoning, as proven by the hundreds of names that have been signed on our petitions. There's rows and rows of people signing petitions to stop this from becoming a fact. The New York Times wrote an article on this architect a couple of weeks back, and I'm sure you can find that article. This home would become an event space to stuff the tax-free foundation with revenue. They have changed their proposal 3 times, looking to get a foot in the door, and then when they think no one is looking, they will sneak around to increase its use to ramp it up. Every year, they will be back again with more demands, changing the wording. But the wording does not change their intent to make money with this venue. What are they asking for? Well, they would like to have meetings, gatherings from 12 people to 150 people, 6 days a week, including Sundays, Friday and Saturday nights up to 10 p.m. We estimate thousands of cars, buses, and a lot of people will inundate our peace and quiet over the course of just 1 year. And for what? A tax-free foundation. Also, they're asking to have people living there on a rotating basis and available to rent out for various events. This is nothing more than a business making money hiding under a tax-free umbrella. Would you want this in your own neighborhood? First and foremost, it's really about our zoning laws. Do we abide by laws or just let money and power change them to their benefit? If they can do this in our neighborhood and succeed, then anyone can do it in your neighborhood. Because once you establish a precedent, then anyone can take you to court and say, well, if you did it for them, you should be able to do it for us. Now let's take the leading spokesperson for this Tremaine Foundation. Hunter Tremaine lives on a beautiful estate in Fairfield. Why does he not put it on his property? Of course not, because the zoning would never allow him to do it there. So he will try with his tax-free foundation to shove all the cars, buses, people down our throats and not in Fairfield where he lives. This $100 million tax-free foundation made it a point to get to our elected officials with invites to luncheons and getting to talk to our committees before any of us citizens even knew about it. We learned about it 4 days before it was presented to the zoning board for the first time, and the only way we learned about it, it was by an announcement of the Tremaine Foundation of their intentions in a letter in our mailboxes. Half the neighbors threw the letter away because they thought it was junk mail. They were planning this for over a year with the full knowledge of our elected officials. Who does the town represent? Its citizens or money and power? At a meeting with Peggy Lyons, she told me that people come to Madison for its culture, and this would help draw more people to spend money. I said, you mean more money into the Tremaine Tax-Free Foundation? Let's think about it. When you go to a wedding or an event, after it's all over, what do? Well, you run home to take off your shoes because your feet are killing you, and you change your clothes. To think that you'll go shopping after you eat and drink, what a joke. No one ever does that. We're all anxious to get back home. And one member of our town official actually threatened me with, if you don't allow this, we will put low-income housing on that lot. So now we come to this in our town, threats. So this tax-free foundation uses flowery language with noble intents so it can bulldoze its way into our community, fill town officials with pie-in-the-sky ideas, and get what they want, while us tax-paying citizens who moved to Madison for the type of town it was that offered peace and quiet to raise our families to get pushed aside and told again by a town official, you are only a small part of Madison. In other words, what he was saying, we are insignificant and count for nothing. It is beyond our understanding how this town can even think of publicizing this home with all of its Nazi past. To me, it looks like a concentration camp with its stone walls and 10-foot fences. Why is that? Because the foundation promotes Philip B. Johnson, who was their architect, who also was a dedicated American Nazi, started the gray shirts here in America, went to all of Hitler's rallies, and even went into Poland with the German army. Rachel Maddow, in her second chapter in her most recent book, Prequel, talks about him extensively. Now, why would Emily Tremaine hire a Nazi architect to add onto this old house here in Madison? She, like him, was very rich and did as they pleased. Her second husband, during their divorce, said she was herself a Nazi and had a statue of Hitler in her home and named her dog Swastika, as printed in an article in the Evening Sun newspaper. Of course, she denied it, but then why would you hire an architect who was a Nazi to work on your own home? If you have been trying to disavow your past, then why reinforce it with this type of man working on your house here in Madison? It is all worthwhile reading and can be found on searching for it on the internet. Do we need this type of attention with a tax-free foundation that sold all of its art to generate its vast amount of money, taking over a quiet neighborhood that pays $860,000 in taxes? So what did the foundation say? Oh, well, we'll find a way to make up for the taxes that we will take away as a tax-free foundation. In other words, are they now saying, well, we'll find a way to bribe you if you give us tax-free status? Let's talk about another point. Why did we take down the statues of Christopher Columbus in New Haven and countless statues of the Confederacy because of what they represented? Surrounding this home are Madison residents of every faith, color, and lifestyle. All would have been killed if Hitler won World War II, and Philip B. Johnson, as he stated, would become the Führer of America. Having this home here is an insult, not only to the 52 million people who died in World War II, but it's an insult to every family member who lost a loved one in World War II. My grandfather fought in World War I. My father flew B-17s over Germany 36 times, came home, never the right person that he was, and when I was 6 months ago, died from war-related injuries. That was 77.5 years ago. I would give anything I have to just be able to talk to him. And now I have to fight this in my backyard. Citizens of Madison, do we need another 5-year battle in the courts as we had with the Ledges housing development, which recently was found in favor of the citizens? It's our tax dollars being eaten up by lawyers when exceptions are given to existing laws. When we bought this land from the Tremaine's grandfather to build our homes, we signed a covenant to protect the land as he wanted it protected. One home, no other structures, no business of any kind, and the protection of the Neck River that runs through it. All of this was very important to Mr. Tremaine. So they sold the house, they sold the art collection. So here they come back, the family with all of its power and money, and says, too bad he's dead, and who cares what he wanted or what you neighbors say. Please write to the zoning board members and tell them this should not be allowed. Don't bother writing to Peggy Lyons, because she told me she has nothing to do with the zoning board. But of course, why did she go to the Tremaine's luncheon at the Madison Beach Hotel if she did not wish to bring the prestige of her office to this venture? At least members of the zoning board refused to attend because it would be a conflict of interest. I hope the zoning board will read all the letters and act to stop this dead in its tracks. Offers have been made to the Tremaine Foundation to buy it back from them. This parcel of land could hold 3 new homes, bringing $70,000 to $90,000 in new taxes. Remember, Madison has a decreasing population for the last 9 years. And get this, it also has 124 tax-free foundations on its books now. Do we need another one taking taxes off the rolls? Once you give a parcel of land tax-free status, it stays on the land forever. Please come to the zoning board meeting. 6 p.m. on May 16th to help support us. This is our town. Keep it the place we all love and stop this quest to turn it into another Greenwich, only for power and money. Thank you so much and have a good day.